Welcome, welcome, welcome. And let's start this episode with a little song. Here we go. So, welcome, Jasmin, on my show.
Hi, Lenka. I'm Jasmin Baljak from Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, wow. What time is it in Sydney right now?
I think it's about 7 o'clock at night,
Wow,
7
we are
p.m.
like two ships passing because here it's 9 a.m. and there it's 7 p.m. So thank you so much for coming on my show. Just so everybody knows, Jasmin Baljak is #1 wealth coach in the world. So welcome to my dear Lenka show. You can tell me anything. And today it's anything about money, wealth, financial freedom, prosperity, abundance. So I always bring the best of the best people on this show. So you will get so much value. And I want to also mention that Jasmin is very recognized coach, wealth coach. She's #1 co-author of a couple of books on Amazon. And she is working on different projects. Now you've got your own show, right? Radio show on
Correct.
radio, and I love it. I listened to it yesterday. It's online on S5 Radio, I think. So that's really awesome.
It's on a lot of medium. It's on iHeartRadio UK. It's on Spotify. It's on Audible. It's on Apple Podcast. It's on Google. It's on Spotify. It's just gone global. The show is called Welcome to the Light, and it's all about abundance in wealth, passion, spirit, and prosperity.
I love it. And that's exactly what I'm into also. And I'm creating also my own course where I'm going to welcome you as well, because you're #1 expert. So just let's go back a little bit, Jasmin. So when did you have this kind of intuition, this feeling that you're going to be a wealth coach? When did it start?
I'm going to tell you something really funny. And it's funny because it's the song you played, Money, Money, Money. And I had this feeling as a little girl, and I was about 6 years old. And we weren't wealthy at the time. And all we could afford was an ABBA album. My uncle got me this album, and I used to play that song. And it's such synchronicity that I used to play Money, Money, Money as a little girl. And I knew in my heart of hearts at 6 years old that I would be on a trajectory to be a billionaire.
Wow, that's so awesome. And I just woke up with this song in my head. And I was like, okay, this is perfect for Jasmin. So I'm so happy that it's a beautiful synchronicity. Thank you for sharing that. And you mentioned you don't come from a wealthy family, is that right?
I never came from a wealthy family, correct.
So did you grow up, or did you find yourself in your adulthood when you were dealing with a scarcity mindset and you had to kind of like say goodbye to it?
Look, I had to say goodbye to it a long time ago, because I realised that, and I was just having this conversation with you before, our parents are of that generation where money is a dirty word, money is taboo. You know, how dare you ask for more? You should just be happy being mediocre in life, receiving a mediocre salary, not even educating yourself. You should be really with my family, it's that mindset of you should be happy with what you've got. Don't push for more.
That's true, because gratitude is so important. And it's very interesting, Jasmin, because I asked a few people around in our audience for questions about money. And money is like one of the biggest worries in the world. It's a culprit of many arguments, divorces, and fallouts. And when I ask, like, what's your biggest money question? They have to really think, and then they come up with something really small. I'm like, okay, let's go big. So I want to ask you a first question. Do you think money can buy happiness?
It's funny you say that, because a lot of people would say, no, money can't buy you happiness. And in some essence, that's true. But I've never seen a rich person, a billionaire, that's sad.
Yeah.
So to me, money can buy you happiness.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. even though like, okay, we buy things, but we can, let's say, follow our dreams. For me, for example, it's traveling, and also for you, you love traveling. You can buy, I don't know, a yacht, go on a cruise. I think that makes people happy. So it's, I wouldn't say it's the material things, but it's for me, it's the experiences that we can have thanks to money. Now, it's very interesting because money is, okay, we can touch the notes, but what is money? Like, money is something bigger. It's not just the notes that we have. It's not just the paycheck, the bank account. So how would you define money and wealth, Jasmin?
Look, it's definitely not the paper you touch. It's not the coins you touch. Money is really what you can be in this life, and where you can go. And it's not just the experiences, Lenka. It's really, thinking deeper and thinking, what did you want to be, as a child, whether that's a pilot, whether that's number one spiritual leader and all that, to leave a legacy. So money is definitely not the pay, but it's a energetic exchange for bigger things. And I'm getting goosebumps as I say this, because for me, whilst I'm on this trajectory to be a billionaire, for me, it's really like, I would say what I want to do. Like, I want to open up, a spiritual school in the south of France, and like an international spiritual school one day. And I want to, when I've, the billions in my hand. And I don't want people to come to this university and worry that they can't pay. So I want knowledge, and I'm talking about, whether we're light workers, whether, we've got MBAs, to all come to the school to learn different facets of what's being taught, out there. And I'm talking about different modalities. Like, I've got one starting in January, which is time quantum, and it's never been done. And it's teaching people, time manipulation. So that'll be taught at the spiritual school. And it's just different ways to think, and freedoms.
Yeah, I love that. And I know that your vision is, and your desire is, to go around the world and teach people, which I think it's so generous, and it's amazing because people need to hear from you. Like, I always have this heaviness from people when it comes to money, when it comes to the price for my services as well. I come from scarcity mindset too, and I'm still surrounded by it. So it's like every time breaking through and peeling the layers off. I just had a short conversation with my family member, and she said, I worked all my life and I still cannot afford to go to Caribbean. And it's just, it breaks my heart, because it's not about, can I afford it or not? Of course you can afford it. It's about the priority. You really want to go.
And I'll just interject there, and it's not, and I can tell you right now what it is, and it's the mindset.
Yeah.
As soon as you say, and this is to the God or whatever you believe in, as soon as you say, I don't have enough money, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get even less. But as soon as you wake up and are happy, whether that's you've got $100 in your pocket, or you've got $1 million in your pocket, you've got $1 billion in your pocket, I can tell you right now, the source, God, will give you more, but you have to want it. You have to want it with every breath you take. And to be mega successful is not to wish small dreams, it's to wish the mega dream and then multiply that by 100. And really, I can tell you where my success is coming from. It's coming from everything that scares me. So when I did the radio show, I can tell you for now, I didn't want to do it. But it scared me. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. And not only am I going to do a year-long radio show, I'm going to do a weekly show. And that was the hardest category to do. And today, a friend of mine from America sent me something, and it was to say that I was in the, for both shows, I've got 2 shows out at the moment, I was in the #1 top podcast.
Wow.
Never did.
Congratulations.
For wealth. So that knocked me for 6, because really the more you gravitate to what scares you, and this scarcity mindset, you've actually, and even just that comment when you said people don't want to pay me for my services, you already know this because we've gone to spiritual school together. They are not your people. And I don't know what it is with me. I can tell you right now, I used to have that also, people coming to me and saying, we don't want to pay X amount for your courses. But it's almost like I now feel good about money.
Yeah.
And when I ask a price, I can tell you right now, I do not have anybody saying no to me.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I've embodied, the love of money, the feeling of money, it's in me. It's almost like it's permeating from my skin, and people are just saying yes.
Yeah, I love that. And Jasmin, when I think about my experiences, like I've always had enough. I was never like, even when I was on the street, let's say I lost accommodation when I was traveling, there's always like, it always worked out. And the most money I made in my life was when I didn't even think about money, when I didn't worry. And so I want to ask you, because this money was coming from anywhere. I was like, wow, I don't even know these people. They want to pay me. Awesome, come here. So I want to ask you maybe the top 3 mistakes that business people and entrepreneurs make when it comes to money.
Okay. Look, I can tell you right now, look, everybody needs a coach. So if you're in business and you don't know something, like, for example, I didn't know much about sales and marketing, so I went to the best. Go to the best that you can afford to teach you the areas that you don't know. So upskill yourself in the areas that you don't know. For myself, it was sales and marketing. You must get, like a mentor. And it's not just like I've got a business mentor, I've got now a spiritual mentor, and it's really get your tribe. When I say tribe, and this might have sounded elitist, I only associate with the top 10% now. They're my tribe, and I'm learning from people that are billionaires, and I've got a couple of trillionaires that I'm associating with, and there's more, you know what I mean? Like, for example, I have now a permanent table in one of the best restaurants in Sydney, where all the politicians and the movers and shakers go. And I made sure to get table 1, and I'm seeing them most days eating. That's my table. And I'm doing that because that has a profound effect on who you meet and the things and the way your life will change.
This is very true, because we become the people that we surround ourselves with. So there is a stigma in this dogma that people believe in my country. I'm in Slovakia right now, but I'm sure like you originally come from Croatia, or your family, and I also family in Croatia. So in these post-communist countries, people believe that it's all about connections. Like, I cannot have more because I don't have the right connections. Is it true? And if it is, how they can shift from this?
No, it's not true. I can tell you, for example, I was sitting at home a few months ago and I was just saying to myself, I need, like, I won't say the amount of money, but an amount of money, an obscene amount of money. And the next day a contract came for me to do some consulting. And now I'm working on another $1 billion project. And it comes. So what I'm saying is, do not worry about the connections. For me, it's an affiliation with God and source. So I say a prayer at night, and this is what I say. I'll teach you, and I say to God, or I believe in God. So I say, God, send me the right people. This is what I need, and I'll leave it to you. I surrender it. So I say this at night. That's the last thing I do, and in the morning, I'm telling you. I've normally got something happening, something moving and happening, shaking it up and bringing me what I need. And that is the energetic connection. And that is not available just to me. That is available to all of us.
And that's the magic that we are talking about, that it's also
correct.
I love that you mentioned surrendering, but at the same time, we need to learn how to receive, because a lot of people have things coming their way and they don't receive it. They're not ready. Is there any? Yeah.
The tip is this is key, and this is something I've learned. The more you are genuinely happy per day, and I'm not talking fake it to make it, I am talking things that make you happy. If you are in happy, like if you are joyful per day, and happy. So for me, it's like doing my spiritual practice in the morning, being in gratitude, dancing like a crazy woman for 5 minutes in the morning, like shaking up the cobwebs. And for me, I really need to be in nature for me to connect to source and hear the whispers, like Oprah would say. And I need to play music. So I do what my soul needs to hear and have done for me to be able to receive. So you must be in joy. And for more joy to occur, it's a simple practice. Get a book, any book, and start writing per day what made you happy. And today it might be 5 things, tomorrow it might be 6. And by the end of the month, you'll see a pattern of like 30, 40 things that you never even thought would make you happy, but bring you joy. So joy has to, you can increase joy. And it's just like, getting on a bike and practicing every day. You practice like adding more things to your joy journal.
Yes, I love the joy journal. And it's so important because it all, in the end of the day, it all starts with gratitude. Like if we are not grateful for what we have, how can we get more from the universe, God, source? So there is enough for everyone. A lot of people don't believe it, but there is enough for everyone. Whatever we manifest, we want to manifest.
Yeah, Lenka, there is more than enough. And I'm not talking about, petty cash. I'm talking the billions. And it's not, look, we've only got about I think it's 3,000, let's say 3,000 billionaires in the world. And that is really limited to people's idea of what they can be. So let no one define, that you can't be a billionaire. We can all be billionaires. We just have to get out of our own way and understand, even if we've got common jobs, you can put a little bit of money aside, you can work it out, put a little bit of money aside to be coached for, or to start off with passive income. And even passive income, a little bit of side income, can become a lot of money. You can have passive income making you anywhere from $3,000 to $3 million a month. And I teach that.
Yeah, because I know a lot of the big coaches that I follow and you follow, they have become rich because they were doing something they didn't plan to do, but people needed it, right? From small things like, I don't know, how to pray, how to be in gratitude, how to create the email list and so on. And it just becomes big. And they often say, it's not what I want to teach, but this is what the people need to know to start. So that's so beautiful. I often hear from people that money is hard to make. What do you think? What would you tell us?
Absolutely not. You can make money if you choose to. Yeah. It's a choice. You've got to get into that mindset. You can sit on the couch, you know what I mean, and get benefits. But you can also you've got to understand something. You've got talents. We've all got talents, and people think, oh, it's just your work talents. It's not just your work talents that will bring you income. There are people out there that are doing, like, to digress, cooking classes, and they're really, really talented in that. And that can be a passive income stream into something you really want. So you can go off and do a video about something that you're really good to cook. You can cook, charge $49, have that coming in without you even doing anything. You make a video once and have that coming in and producing anywhere an additional 3K to 6K a month.
That's amazing.
On one video.
Yeah, because I remember when I was traveling around India, that they are so much in the gratitude, and they come up with these ideas that they can make money just by cooking at home and inviting people to their home. And it's just so beautiful because Indian cuisine, like, who wouldn't want to know all about Ayurveda, what spices to use? So as you said, small idea can bring you big money. Jasmin, can you tell us where people can find you? Are you open to having students?
I am open to many students. I've got my website being available next week. So I'm on www.jasminbaljak.com. And I've got programs. I've got a $1 billion Babe Academy. I've got a Billions Up. I've got Time Quantum. I've got Limiting Beliefs. I've got many, many things. And I'm really here to shake you up, in such a way that I'm going to leave you, no doubt. And I'm not like those other teachers. When you come on board with me, after your 6 weeks and your 10 weeks, I leave you. I don't leave you.
Yes, and that's important because there are many resources out there, many coaches. A lot of them are not in integrity, I would say. And I love what you are teaching, and I love how you are teaching people, because it is going to be uncomfortable. It is going to be painful. These are beliefs we've had for many.
I don't believe it's going to be uncomfortable or painful. I think it's a new mindset. I think it's a new way of thinking, and you've just got to. If you do anything with enthusiasm, love and kindness, it's different. And everybody that comes on board, you become part of my, honestly, my soul tribe. And we're in it for the long run. And, if ever you come on board and you get stuck somewhere, I will personally get in the mud with you and pull you out.
Wow, that's awesome. And because I know that these beliefs we've had for many, many years, and some people don't want to let go of them, but I know your success rate is very high. So what is your number one advice for people who don't believe I can do it?
Look, we have old patterns, embedded in ourselves. And we really, and this is the greats, and I'll tell you honestly who they are. It's Tony Robbins. He got to a certain level with money, and he could not go any further because he had limiting beliefs and traumas in his life that he had to go and do spiritual work on. He had to go and clear the clutter. He had to go clear the, you had to do inner work. And that's just like me. I'm a survivor. I'm a domestic violence survivor. And about a year ago, I had to spend, up to a year, doing my inner work and getting all these, these traumas out. And I, worked on that very hard. I cried for 6 months. But I did not stop until it's just like tar, internal tar, energy, bad tar in your body. You have to work, and you can imagine how sticky tar is. You have to work to get that out. And once that is out, this is what you're going to be left with, happiness.
Yes, and you're always happy. I know whenever we connect, it's just happiness, it's lightness, it's that abundance mindset. Sometimes I come with one idea and you're like, oh, you can make it 10 times better, 100 times better. So I love that you open also my box, of possibilities. So thank you so much, Jasmin. We've run out of time. So I'm so glad that you have accepted my invitation, and I'll bring you back again because I'm sure that people have a lot more questions now. And if you want to contact Jasmin, everything is on her website. It's jasminbaljak.com. And I'm so happy and I feel so abundant right now. So thank you very much, Jasmin. Any last words you want to tell the audience?
Yes, I do. I want to say to everybody, the Lenka is beautiful and the real deal. And we met about a year ago, and I'm telling you, I love this girl.
I remember we did our spiritual coaching practice together, and you just, like when somebody walks in and they light up the room, you lit up the Zoom room. Like it was like a breath of fresh air. Like you bring this strong energy, powerful, confident, and I loved it so much about you. And I can't wait for your TV station. I remember you declared it, and it's gonna happen. You're almost there.
My first stop is going to see Grant Cardone in Miami because I've got to talk to him about doing it.
Awesome. You've got a plan. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Baljak. I'll see you soon and have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you, beautiful Lenka. Bye-bye, darling.
Bye.